Rockeyez would like to welcome Scott Miller, Tango down. Hey, man, what's going on?
Hanging, man, hanging.
Cool, cool, cool. How you doing after the storm?
Fixing my roof, trying to stay warm.
Cool, cool, cool. Let's go back a little bit in your career and start with No More Johnny. I see you with Kivel for a long time now.
Yeah, well, I've known John. He's been a personal friend for years and years and years. He's a really good photographer. So he used to take some pictures with us way back in the day. And I've been working with him pretty much on and off ever since.
Cool, cool. And you started playing guitar about age 13?
Yeah, 13 and a half, almost 14. I was young. I was a young riffer snapper.
Cool, cool, cool. And mainly, did you always stick to block rock or just regular rock? You never went outside that bracket?
I started off in a punk band. I was a punk rock kid. When I was young, punk rock was the thing. Melodic rock wasn't even invented yet.
Right, right.
So, I was in a punk band called Toxic Waste when I was in junior high school.
Cool, cool, cool. How was it? How were you in high school?
What do you mean?
As a kid, were you a wise guy? Were you a A student? What were you?
A wise guy.
Yeah.
I was a punk rock kid. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I had pins in my ears and buttons all over my denim jacket, and I used to listen to the Dead Kennedys and punk rock stuff, dude.
Cool, cool, cool. And then you went on to No More Johnny, and then you had a release called Slam, which seemed like pretty good reviews.
Yeah, well, I was in a few outfits before No More Johnny, but No More Johnny was the first band that took off that I got to tour with and opened for some of the bigger bands. We did some stuff with XYZ and Lizzie Borden and some other of the big guys of the day.
Cool, cool, cool. And then you also do a cover band, Slippery When Wet, or you just fill in?
I was the fill-in.
Uh-huh.
I was the fill-in guitar player for the Bon Jovi tribute, Slippery When Wet, ultimate Bon Jovi tribute from down in Jersey.
Uh-huh.
Then we used to play the casinos and Asbury Park and Staten Island. It's just, you know what it is? It's just really far for me to drive.
Oh, yeah.
I love playing with those guys. They're all top musicians, but they got their guy, and as a fill-in guy, it just wasn't working out. But I had a lot of fun doing the Bon Jovi.
Cool.
I was Riffy Sambora.
Wow, and yet they're still around now.
Yeah, though they've been around for 11, 12 years. They'll never stop, those guys.
Cool, cool, cool.
That's their cash cow, man.
No doubt about it, if they could fill the audience,
Right. They're a Bon Jovi cover band that acts like Bon Jovi from the 80s in Jersey.
Right.
That's it. It's all over.
Oh, yeah. And then you also did Adrian Gale for a while.
Yes, I did 2 albums with Adrian Gale.
Cool.
I've been friends with Vic for a long time, and when their main guitar player left, they gave me the call. They said, "Listen, we're doing an album. You want to do some stuff? You want to write?" And I was like, "Of course, playing with Jamie Rowe and Vic Rivera, you can't beat that,
Cool, cool. And they got a new project, Crunch. I don't know how long it's going to take off or whatever, but they're working on new material also. Plus, you were in Bangalore choir.
Me? I was not in Bangalore choir.
No, you just...
No. Tango Down plays a few Bangalore choir songs.
Oh.
But I was never, I would have loved to have been in Bangalore choir, but I was never in Bangalore choir, no.
Cool.
David Reece, our singer, of course, is Bangalore choir.
Right. Definitely. Now let's get to Crisis, and we get
Identity Crisis. There you go.
Identity. That's a hard one,
Rented lips.
You got 4.5 stars out of 5 on Rockeyez, our site, and you really were the highlight of that album for me. You really kick some ass. If you read the review, you got a little Eddie Van Halen, Jakey Lee, and your own style all mixed together, and it's amazing. And that's what really drew me to the CD, besides John Kivel. I liked it, and he knows I'm honest, because we had some problems in the past and stuff, but he knows that I'm an honest person, and I'll give you my true review. And that's my review, and I thought it was excellent.
Well, I read your review, and I'm like, wow, this guy's all right. I like this guy. Well, on the first, I call it the first, our last album, Damage Control, I play a little bit more. I do the pretty boy guitar playing, you know, with some slinky vibrato and trying to sound more late 80s. But I'm an older cat.
Right.
And I cut my teeth on Chris Holmes and Carlos Calvazo and, you know, Vito Bratta. You know, of course I like John Sykes and Zach Wilde. You can hear it in my playing.
Right.
But on this album with David, I heard the first tracks with David, and it had much, you know, it's a well-produced melodic album, but it had a really old school, like 85, 86 kind of a feel.
Right.
So I went back to playing my old school riffs. You know, I wanted it to sound like an old school release, you know. David is just so pure and honest in his vocal, you know. And in our last album, I did a lot of layers and guitar harmonies and beautifully worked out little passages. In this album, I just got a Jake Lee sound, just like you said, nice and dry. I mean, Ty Sims is a genius. He gets it perfect every time.
Wow.
And I just let it fly, man. Vic Rivera did a lot of the guitar producing with me, and most of the time I would say, okay, Vic, this is how I want to do it. I want it to go something like this, and I would play it for him, and he would say, okay, what's next? I'm like, you tape that? He's like, yeah, I got it. I'm like, I didn't want you to tape that. I was just showing you how I wanted to do it. And then I would try to do it one or two more times, and it didn't sound as good, so we ended up going with a lot of the first take stuff. He's very sneaky with the record button, you know. Because the next, I'm like, okay, well, I want to do it something like this. And the next thing you know, he's like, okay, what's next? And I'm like, wait a second, you know?
Yeah.
But it's honest. The guitars are honest. That's how I like to play. I mean, it's Pro Tools.
Right.
You know, you can fix anything. Anything can be absolutely perfect, meticulously done. I didn't do all of that. I wanted it to be honest. David's vocals are honest. Those are honest vocals. The songs are written to have that. I mean, we go overboard on our background vocals because that's our trademark. That's what we do, the big background harmonies. But everything else, I kept my guitar playing to a minimum.
Didn't sound like it to me.
Well, I mean, I still play a lot of fast stuff, but I mean, I didn't layer a lot. Like, if you listen to Damage Control, I layered. There's lots of layers and harmonies and intricately worked out passages. In this album, like I said, I did a lot of, I mean, like Chris Holmes, Carlos Cavazo. I love that stuff, you know.
Right.
That's some of my favorite playing, the old school metal, before it really found its identity, you know. I'm a big Wasp fan, Quiet Riot, you know,
cool.
That kind of stuff.
Cool. Is there any songs on this new CD that was difficult for you to do?
No, everything felt real natural. Everything was natural on this album. The songs, the co-writers, you know, working with David, our producers, everything just kind of fell together, you know. It was a team effort. It's not like, oh, I did everything, or oh, David did everything, or oh, John did everything. Everybody did, you know, everybody did their part. And it really came together nice. Like I say, Ty Sims and Eric Johnson, geniuses. Vic Rivera. It's just everybody involved did what they were supposed to do. Everything was pleasant. There was no bickering and fighting. You know, it was just fun. I had a lot of fun.
Cool. So far, what is the most memorable time in your whole career in music?
The most memorable time in my whole career in music is opening for Dokken. The guitar player does a really long guitar solo, and I'm standing behind a stack of Marshalls drinking Old Granddad with Don Dokken.
Cool.
He goes behind the amp, and he waves me over. And I thought it was Old Granddad. Who the hell knows? It could have been Jim Beam, or I just call it that. Whenever I tell the story, I say Old Granddad. It sounds better.
Yeah.
Never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Yeah.
And he waved me over, and I sat back there because it was a long guitar solo, and me and Don just hang out and drinking some drinks, you know. I was like, wow, this is kind of freaking cool, you know.
Cool.
I'm like, somebody pinched me. I can't believe it, you know.
Wow. Is music beneficial to you?
Oh, yeah, dude, I'm the music guy. I live this, you know. It's not just something I put on. I've been doing this my whole life. It's defined who I am. It is who I am, you know.
Cool. So before you started your career, what was your first job?
Oh, you wanted my first job?
Yeah.
I was a busboy.
Yeah, that's money.
I was a busboy at a restaurant at a hotel restaurant as soon as I was old enough to get my working papers. 14, I think I was. My parents had to sign permission. Yeah, I dropped a stack of plates my second day, smashed everything, walked out, never went back.
Cool. So, what is the next step for the band?
We're getting geared up for our next round of concerts. We just did, we always seem to open for Y&T. Whenever Y&T comes along, we always do 2-3 nights in a row with them when they come through town. We just did a quick 3 nights with Y&T, but I think we're getting ready to go back out on some festivals. Whatever John and the people at the label say to do is what I do. He's been taking good care of me. I've been on Kivel Records for a long time now, and I have no problems, no regrets. Everything is fine. He does what he's got to do. When he says it's time to play, I say yes, sir. Let's go.
Right.
And he always books up the good shows.
Cool. Is there new material you're working on at this time?
No, always working on new material. Constantly. Yes, I have. I wrote 40 songs for the last album.
Right.
I still have a bunch backlog, but I throw most of them away, and I just keep writing new, and I send them out. I work with a lot of co-writers now. I'm getting into this whole melodic... excuse me, now my phone's beeping. This whole melodic scene took me a while, because I'm a heavy metal guy, dude. I play heavy metal.
Uh-huh.
And hold on, let me wait for my phone to stop beeping here. All right. Well, I'm a heavy metal guy. Well, I used to be. I like to play heavy metal, and slowly, John and Kivel Records have come around now, and I kind of get it. You know what I'm saying? I kind of get what the whole melodic rock community is expecting. I love that music too. I just was a little bit heavier. And on Damage Control wasn't really. It was a good album, but now that I know what's expected from a melodic rock fan, I'm more in tune to really, I don't know what a good word is. I can deliver a good melodic rock album now.
Cool.
Trying my best, man. I'm trying my best.
So when you lay back and relax, what do you do?
I play some video games, man.
Cool. That's right. You just said you were playing Halo.
Yeah. I'm playing Halo 4. Just got it, man. Just got it this morning. As a matter of fact, I'm on like the very beginning. I just started, and then I got to go do this interview, and then I'm probably going to go right back to playing some Halo.
Cool. Well, I definitely thank you for giving me a call, or me giving you a call, whatever it was.
Hey, listen, I thank you for your review, man. You know what it is? I can tell that you're a music fan, you know what I'm saying? And if it wasn't for websites and people like you, there wouldn't be people like me. So I owe you. I should be interviewing you and saying thanks to you.
Well, I appreciate that. And,
that's how that works. And I hope everything works out for you and your Rockeyez. This is the Riff Man doing his interview for Rockeyez, and my man Brian on the phone. How about that? There you go.
Thanks a lot for that ID.
Stay tuned for more rock and roll.